Hi Adrian, hi Irene, hi L Jones. Oh my goodness, straight out with the Tower card. Okay, so we're just on the sign of Cancer. I'll be doing Leo after this, okay? The Tower can be positive or negative, okay? It's a major arcana, which means the change would be major. So it's like your workplace telling you that you're getting made redundant, or it's like, a partner telling you, like, I'm not happy in this relationship, we need to talk, I'm breaking up with you. Or it's like deciding that you're gonna move to another country, okay? You're gonna totally relocate. Towers can be caused by you. You can cause a tower, you can break up with someone, you can leave a job, you can hand in your notice, move away, relocate. It's a major change though. A tower can be caused by another person. It can also be caused by the universe. So if I was involved with someone who was very karmic, very toxic, and I just didn't heed the red flags, a tower moment could be caused, okay, to force me to wake up, okay? And that would escalate anyway. Maybe it's not the best example because a karmic lesson is supposed to do that, but towers can be good or bad. It's just major change, okay? And it's your first card out, Cancer, so it's Aries energy, fire energy, major change this week. We'll see what else comes out. The Seven of Cups reversed, okay? So the Seven of Cups upright is, I don't view cups as different people that we're looking at. I just view it as someone who's at a crossroads trying to decide, like, where to go next, and that could be a place, it could be setting goals, it could be other people, but it's usually after you've left a relationship. When a relationship has ended, you find yourself at a crossroads because you were on a journey. You had, a path that you were treading, excuse me, treading, and you find yourself with that erased, and you've got to kind of reconfigure your GPS now, and figure out which way to go. So it's just being at a crossroads. But when this, so you sort of daydream about your different kind of options. When it's reversed, it crosses over from daydreaming into delusion. Okay, so possibly too many hours sitting, pondering, perhaps thinking about things that are unrealistic, a lot of hours, being spent sort of pondering on the future, where am I going next? We've got the Seven of Wands reversed and the High Priestess. So the Seven of Wands, when it's upright, is when we're feeling really competitive. We've got the advantage, we've got the high ground, we're confident. It's like if you went for a promotion and you were up against, like, a lot of people on your team, but you think, you know what, I've got that extra something, I'm really good with this, or I've got more years of experience, or I've got the latest, up-to-date training, or I've done extra courses in something, or I've got this particular character about me. It's something where it doesn't have to be a promotion, but it's just like an easy example where you're up against the competition. But when this is upright, you feel like you've got the advantage. It's competitive. Again, it's wands, so it's fire energy. That's reverse though. So it's this sense of like, I don't feel like I've got that edge. I don't feel like I've got what people are looking for. It's a bit of a pessimistic vibe. Or, yeah, if it's not like feeling weak, it's more, you could be overly competitive, you could be pushy, yeah, domineering, overbearing. The High Priestess. Okay, so the High Priestess is a card where you're following your third eye, you're following your gut, your intuition. What are you being led to do? What are you being called to do? It's not logic, it's not heart. It's, I believe that this is what I should be doing. It's about trust, it's about faith. You know, the universe has a plan for me. I feel like I'm meant to be doing this. It's more intuitive, it's more spiritual. So we crossed over into delusion. We've had a major kind of upheaval. Maybe you're struggling with your intuition at this time because that seems quite powerful. Big change, you know. It's causing us to kind of like maybe lose a sense of reality. You become less grounded when there's a lot of drama, don't you? Hi everyone, welcome in. Is it Javon? Or yeah, it's Havon or Yavon. Tell me how to pronounce it because I feel like an idiot. I want to be respectful with your name. I'm sure we've had this conversation before as well. You know, I'm a teacher, so all I do is get people's names wrong all day. Constantly corrected. Right, these are going to be the cards for the person that's showing up in your reading now. So we've got the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is upright. So the person that's on your mind, or the one you're currently dealing with, or someone that you're manifesting in for the future, they're in a good kind of energy, because this is about being willing to turn yourself upside down to see things from other people's perspective. It's like the opposite of being stubborn. It's being open-minded. Okay, like I'm willing to see things from another point of view. I can't say much more than that at this moment. Let's get some more cards. The Three of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Queen of Swords reversed, the Four of Swords upright, the King of Swords. Ooh, what is going on here? We've got a King and a Queen of Swords. There seems to be a bit of a narrative here. And the Ace of Swords reversed. There's too many people here. Three of Cups is, it can be celebrations, okay? Three is a number of community. The Two of Cups card, let's put the others down for a sec. The Two of Cups card is two people that I've just met and they're falling in love and the feeling's mutual. Okay, they're each offering a cup of emotion. When you add another person into the dynamic, that's too many. Okay, three is a crowd. It's a third party situation in a lot of love readings there. So let's look at what we've got going on here. The Seven of Pentacles, if that was upright, it would be, what have I cultivated so far? It's reflection. It's looking back at the past. Okay, a farmer looks at the seeds that he's sown, and he looks at, the crops or whatever he's yielded, and he reflects upon his work. Have I labored enough? Have I achieved enough? 7 is reflective energy. So with that reversed, I feel like not enough is being achieved. The Queen of Swords reversed. When it's upright, the Queen of Swords is air energy, so it's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Swords are thoughts, they're knowledge, facts, information, communication. A Queen of Swords, when she's upright, is no nonsense. Okay, she's intelligent, intellectual. She can come off a bit businesslike, a bit cold. Okay, but she's truthful. She's honest. Air energies, they intellectualize things. Okay. With her being reversed, it kind of gives off a divorce energy. Okay. And then further on, we've got the King of Swords, and he's reversed. So I feel like there's a married couple here, because we've got matching suits. They're both reversed. It's feminine and masculine energy. Okay, so... And then we've got the Four of Swords, which is much needed respite, and that's sort of between the two of them. So taking a break. And then we've got the, excuse me, the Ace of Swords reversed, which is like a secret that's yet to be revealed, clarity that hasn't quite arrived over a situation. Ace of Swords, when it's upright, is like a confession, a truth, a major revelation, knowing exactly what needs to be done. Swords cut through the fog, they cut through the smoke, and you get clarity, you get clear air. So with that being reversed, it's like we haven't quite sorted this situation out, and no one's really happy about it. The King of Swords again, it's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Intellectual person. They tend to be a bit more business-like compared with other people. It depends what the moon sign is. They come off as someone who, you could be soft as anything on the inside and when alone, or, behind closed doors. But in front of others, they could be social, outgoing. But, I mean, Aquarius energy is like acts of service. They like to serve the community. They like to help others. They could be a teacher, a mentor, a charity worker. They could be in the justice system. Someone that's got a strong sense of right and wrong, truth, honour, education. Fairness. But they're a really good writer, orator, or speaker in a sign. They know, they can think on their feet and word things really well, but this could be very manipulative energy. When it's reversed, if you think communication being wielded, like a sword being wielded in the wrong way, could cut really deep. It could really do some damage. So if you want to hurt people with communication, you do one of two things. You say nasty shit to them, or you block them. That's how communication is used in a negative way. Okay, and we've got a third party card here. So I'm not saying that you are currently involved in this. It could be that someone that's showing up in your reading is involved in a third party dynamic. They're married and seeing someone else, or they're seeing someone who's married, and is already committed. I don't know. You're not showing up as a court card, okay? You're not showing up as a page or a knight. So for these to come out on the other side is like Maybe this is someone that's coming in the future that's kind of in something messy at the moment. I don't know. A messy situation. Let's get one more for them and then we'll clarify. Sorry, then we'll get 3 cards for the outcome and then we'll clarify their side. So in the challenge position for them, we've got the King of Wands. Yes, there's a lot of energy, a lot of energies here. The King of Wands and the 9 of Cups. If the 9 of Cups was upright and the King of Wands was reversed, this would be someone who's pleasing themselves, okay? They're self-satisfied, they're doing what they want, they're pushing others around, because King of Wands, when he's upright, okay, is someone who's, they're confident, they're fiery, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, they're a goal-getter, they're goal-orientated, they have a big ego, they enjoy to achieve because then everybody thinks highly of them. Okay, this is like their love language is success, is achievement. Okay, they'll push to burn out. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Very attractive, the life and soul of the party, walk in, everyone turns and looks, you know, like really nice character, very magnetic character, but when it's reversed, it's like overbearing, pushy, overconfident, arrogant. See, that's why you would get this energy of like, well, they're self-serving, yeah, they're full of themselves, or they're obsessed with what they look like, or they think they've got more money than everyone else, more status than everyone else. So 10 of Cups is like everyone in the family is happy. 9 of Cups is I am happy. It's a card of self. Let's turn them around, because in the challenge position, it's like it could go either way. If the King of Wands is upright and he's working hard and he's being very focused on career, on status, assets, building up. See, if you're a King of Pentacles, you're very focused on wealth and security and material items. If you're King of Wands, it's like confidence, arrogance, leadership, what everyone thinks of you. It's hard to define the difference without really going into it. So it's more about status, what people think, being assertive, being bossy, delegating, you know, to others. The 9 of Cups is reversed. So there it's like when this person's upright, they kind of want, they want to be a 10 of Cups, okay? They're not happy being single. This is someone that enjoys stability. They see a relationship as extra status, a car as status, a house as status, having your own business as status, or being high up in an org. So, you know, they're not going to be without a relationship. If they're going to have a relationship, it's got to be a solid one, an upright one. You know, so it's a king, so it's not a knight, it's not a page, it's someone that is like, I need to have a marriage, I need to have, you know, a sense of status. For whatever reason, we tend to look at people who are married as successful. We tend to look at people who are married with a house and with children as upright citizens. And then we look at people who are single as kind of naughty, or a free spirit, a wild child. You know, it doesn't make you a saint, the fact that you're married, but in society, you're viewed as someone who's upright, someone who's law-abiding, someone who pays the bills. You could be terrible behind closed doors, But this is what, a fire sign's going to be very concerned with what people think. Okay, so they're not going to mess about if they're evolved or if they're a bit more mature. That's in the challenge position. So, maybe there's a decision between pleasing ourselves and not worrying about what people think, not worrying about status taking a hit. If you become divorced, if these two people separate, your status takes a knock, doesn't it? But your happiness might be more important. Your sanity might be more important. You love money, you don't need love. I keep shopping too much. I'm obsessed with stuff and it doesn't keep you warm at night. It's good to reward yourself, but I'm surrounded by stuff. Let's get a 3 for the outcome. I'm an earth sign. I like having good wealth because I just need the security to calm down. Do you know what I mean? It helps me to feel secure. Right, we've got the judgment. So someone's being called to act by angels. It's like, come on, wake up. Time is of the essence. We've got to move. 8 of Swords is being mentally trapped. So it's all an illusion. It's, you're lying to yourself if you think there's no way out of this. This is really interesting, isn't it? I think this King of Wands wants out of a marriage. Hi, welcome in. I'm not answering individual questions. I'm doing the signs. So we're on the sign of Cancer. You need to watch the sign for yourself or the sign of your person, okay? It's okay. The 7 of Swords reversed. Oh my God. Okay. So the 7 of Swords upright is lying, cheating, stealing. This is when you betray someone. Oh, nice. So Aquarius is likely to be tomorrow evening, if I'm honest. Okay. Seven of Swords, when it's reversed, is the lying, the cheating, or stealing being exposed. And I don't mean a confession, I mean getting caught, getting found out. Shit, look at this. 8 of Cups, walking away from a relationship. This is a third-party situation. If you're not involved with someone who's taken, this person is, or this person is, they're taken and they've got involved with someone outside their marriage, but they want out, they're leaving, and it's after getting caught. They should have left a while ago. This could have been going on for a while. Such is life. People do what they do because they're confused, because they're scared, because it's difficult to get out of stuff. It's not that easy. If you've got assets, if you've got children, it's not that easy, is it? It's not like leaving a relationship where you don't have assets or where you're just renting somewhere together. It's different. There's a lot of people involved potentially. The Hermit reversed. Okay, interesting. The 8 of Pentacles upright. This is wanting to grow and expand. the Eight of Pentacles is like someone who's grafting, okay? Grafting hard at work, wanting to build up wealth, they're trying to reach the Nine of Pentacles and become self-sufficient. Then you would go to the Ten of Pentacles, where you put your wealth and someone else's wealth together and get money for your children and their children. Trying to get to the Nine of Pentacles, where you're going to be okay solo, as a single person. The Hermit is reversed. Now, that's a bit of a red flag, because the Hermit, if it was upright, is someone who, it's the major arcana for Virgo. It's someone who is working on themselves. They're doing shadow work. They're looking within. In the story of the major arcana, the fool realizes that he must walk this part of the journey alone. You know, i.e., not dating once you're immediately out of a relationship. You have to process the ending of it. You have to remember the good times, get sad that it's ending. You have to think about your part in things, think about their part in things. There's a lot of processing that's very healthy that needs to happen, where you don't date for a while. You keep very much to yourself, hence the name the Hermit. But this person's not doing that. They're ready for a rebirth. It could be an apology or an offer of emotion to someone. It could be a total fresh new start, with a new person, or the person that, you know, they were cheating with. They want to, you know, approach them and offer a cup of love. Or it's a rebirth of the marriage. But I don't see that, because what I see is walking away. I see walking away with the Eight of Cups. That is choosing to walk away from a very, very established connection, living together, owning property together, married, kids. It's walking away. There's tea all over this table. It's pouring over the edges. There's a lot going on here. It definitely seems like there's been cheating. Okay, there's been a third-party situation, and it's all going on in this. Look how simple your side is. I know you've got the Tower card, but it's like, it's pretty simple. This side's a mess, isn't it? It's an absolute mess. Okay, so the fact that they're a matching suit, the King and Queen of Swords, you know, couples don't have to show up as that, but the fact that it's a king and a queen, they're both air signs, it's like a marriage. Do you know what I mean? And then one person's transitioning from being a king or queen of swords reversed to a king of wands, and you know, that Nine of Cups is like, I have to do what's right for me. I have to do what's right for me, not what's right for the whole family. I have to do what's right for me. You're having crumpets. Crumpets with your tea. Dip them in it. Yeah, and then it just makes sense, look, because they've got the Eight of Cups, which is like walking away. They're choosing to leave, so they probably cheated and they're choosing to leave. I mean, maybe they didn't cheat, maybe they found out someone cheated on them, but I would say if they found out someone cheated on them, the cards I'd expect to come out for them would be like the Three of Swords, you know, broken-hearted, grief, the Five of Cups, you know, grief, sadness, loss, regret. I'm not getting that. I'm like, I have to follow my happiness with the Nine of Cups. I can't think about anyone else. Okay, so it's more of a selfish energy. Does that make sense? Let's get 2 more for the outcome. Look, the 2 of Cups is the start of a relationship. It's when you first are dating and you fall in love, and each person feels the same. There's nothing unrequited about this. The Strength is reversed, so it's a very emotional time. The 3 of Wands is reversed, so we're not taking action. There's arguments, okay? You know, like how when you just come out of a divorce or you're getting divorced, you've got to lie low. You can't be like just getting off with people or starting a love affair with someone. You're trying to be discreet, you know, for the other person, especially if they don't want a divorce, or even if they do, they could just make your life hell, couldn't they, and use it against you. So people tend to lie low, or they say, look, I need a bit of space to just let the dust settle on all of this. I don't want everyone knowing. The 10 of Cups. It seems like this separation causes everyone to calm down and find mellowness, because the 10 of Cups is everyone in the family being contented, being happy. Everyone's cup is full, so children, siblings, parents, grandparents. Perhaps it wasn't a peaceful household before because the king and the queen were both reversed, weren't they? So there could have been arguments, there could have been, bad words, belittling, bullying, demeaning, or there could be like sulking, you know. There's nothing worse than like walking into a room and you could cut the atmosphere with a knife. You know, it's like everyone's walking on eggshells, isn't it? It's just so really, really distressing. As much as listening to people row, when no one's talking to each other, people ignoring each other, it's so freaking tense. It's horrible. So it's probably for the best that that is happening. Let's clarify. Why have they got the Ace of Swords reversed, the King and the Queen of Swords reversed, and the 3 of Cups? Teasing. Dangling partial truths needing answers, shifting. Ooh. And there's your tea. Okay, the tea and the coffee. This third party card, you know, like some people don't admit that they're married, or they'll make it seem okay what they're doing by getting involved with you, because they say, oh, like, we're just platonic now, or we're getting separated, or we're getting divorced, we're separated, but, you know, we haven't told the kids yet, or like, people have a way of like finessing the situation. And do you remember me saying that the King and the Queen of Swords are very good with words? They're good at thinking on their feet. They're a brilliant orator, writer, thinker, and they're also strategists. So if you think of a chessboard, this is the kind of person that can plan ahead, okay? And by the time they're taking action on something, they won't make it look like that. They won't admit, but they've had this plan for a while, okay? This is the kind of person that has had a plan for a while, okay? There's nothing spontaneous about this. It's a strategist. Everything is a chess game to them. And when those cards are reversed, which both of them are, there could be like games being played, like mutual, you know, between these spouses, you know, It's a chess game. It's a game of chess, trying to outwit each other, and getting other people involved in it. That's what it means by dangling partial truths. Shifting, trying to shape shift and get around stuff, find loopholes. It's a slippery customer. Hidden thorns look beyond the romance to discern true intentions. Ooh. Yeah, like it's very clear that these people do not get along. They're not happy where they are, Insecure. So when you know that you're cheating, you kind of get a bit paranoid. You wonder if people are following you, if the other person's found out. You question whether they're doing the same. You could get a bit jealous, possessive, accusatory. You could overly explain where you've been, or why something took a lot longer than it did, or why you can't be somewhere, or why you're staying out. And you never used to do that and you started to stay out again, stay at a friend's or something like that. So there's a lot of insecurity around this situation, and whether anyone will find out. Don't forget, this person's obsessed with status. They're very much concerned what people think about them, and they have to look like they serve the community, that they're very wholesome. I just want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. Well, that's unconditional love. Hearing your name still makes my heart race. This is unspoken truths, okay? So it does feel like something forbidden, doesn't it? Like, if we can't be together, as long as you're happy, like actually care about you on a level that even if you can't be with me or I can't be with you, I feel like they've made a true connection with someone outside of their marriage, so they kind of know that that's done. Because you wouldn't feel that way if you were in love with your spouse, would you? They wouldn't be getting that feeling off the person that they're divorcing. Hearing your name still makes my heart race. So either you've been involved with this person and that's why they're showing up, or this is just, they're completely like thrilled with like something outside their marriage, which says that marriage is done, isn't it? Let's be honest. If Cancer hasn't met this person yet, when will they meet them? I mean, it's not very attractive, is it, to think you could meet someone that's been a cheater, but it's because they're not happy where they are. And as we've said, honestly, it isn't like once you're not in love with someone anymore, you can just walk away. You took a vow, you're supposed to stay together. A lot of people would have a lot of shit to say about it. Gossip is like a big deal to people. They worry about what people think, but it's the opinions of everyone around you that you care about, that you love. You're going to worry about parents and what they think, that you're going to worry about your children. Don't force things, okay? So maybe this is a way off yet. Maybe it's a little way off. Interesting. And if you look at the Ten of Cups in the outcome, the family's happier once they're separated because they're both in the reverse. They're playing games with each other. Yeah, there's arguments. It's no good. The outcome is moving into something new. Sometimes when you have a third party situation, the person that has had the affair, like the one outside the marriage, they don't get to keep the person. It's more like you were the catalyst for these people separating. And it's not because they would have stayed together if it wasn't for you. It's that it helps people to recognise that the fact they're prepared to cheat, it's already done. Because if that got exposed, they're already putting everything that's precious to them on the line, aren't they? So, you know, the marriage is in a bad way once people are doing that. So it likely should have ended a while ago. Because I'm just wondering why they're showing up in your reading if it doesn't seem like you're involved with them. But just because they had an affair and they've got feelings someone doesn't mean they're not just going to let them go. You know, they might have to. They might not have a choice because they've got so much shit going on. Wild. Believe in your otherworldly beauty, dance with the waves and drink in the sunshine. I think you're going to be just living your life, doing the most to sort of live your best life as a singleton, exploring things that are interesting to you, becoming independent, confident, and they're going to come across you. And maybe this Two of Cups is, you know, for you and them. This new kind of like falling in love energy. I think it's just going to happen naturally. It says don't force it. Let's get you some other advice cards, Cancer. Overcoming obstacles, you can overcome anything. Okay, so you may have had a huge tower moment. You could be really like, you know, devastated by this tower. But towers fall because they can't stay up how they are. The tower comes down and it's dramatic and it's uncomfortable. But what gets rebuilt in its place is much better. It's better quality, it has stronger foundations, it's meant to last. Okay, so the tower, we shouldn't force the tower to stay up. It's going to be okay. We have to let the tower fall, okay? Otherwise, you're just kind of fighting the inevitable, aren't you? Swimming against the tide, whatever you want to call it. Hi, lovely. Unconditional love. Oh my God, that's weird, isn't it? That's what that is. I just want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. Maybe I don't know, it's like they're letting someone go, isn't it? My heart is free from resentment towards others. I open the eyes of my heart and discover the light and beauty in every being. I am aware that suffering can cause distress and hurt in people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. So you could feel like, you know, this tower moment, maybe someone brought this tower to you and you were like, thanks a fucking bunch. Do you know what I mean? If someone announced they don't want to be together anymore, they went back on a promise. I think you've had this for the last few readings where it's like the art of like not holding grudges, the art of letting go, understanding that we're all on a spiritual journey and learning at different rates, and that's okay. That's what this human experience is all about. And not everyone is ascended yet. Not everyone is, reflective, or they're on a new lesson that they need to learn, and they're still to process it and mature and whatever. Like, we appreciate that people have to learn to read and write, but we expect ourselves to be spiritual. We expect spiritual equity to be equal, from birth, and it just isn't. You become spiritual, you become more self-aware, more responsible, more reflective, more trusting, more faithful, more intuitive. We might not have all the answers, but we certainly know more as life goes on. We experience more, we reflect more, and we're all doing that at different rates. So we must just understand that everyone's in a different place when it comes to, understanding, ascending, growing. It really does depend on what lessons you're being sent to learn in this lifetime as an individual. What has the divine got in store for you? What are you supposed to be? What are you supposed to be learning and realising? Oh, let's get a crystal for you, Cancer. So the universe is like, this is all going to peter, and sort of filter down and work its way, it's going to like filter through in its own sweet time. What does that say? Pre-night? Is that what it says? Pre-night. That's for the sacral chakra. We've got the moon for the throat chakra and sapphire for the heart chakra. Pre-night. I don't know if I've seen that before. I don't think I've got that one. And sapphire, wasn't it? There's sapphire. Is it? No, that doesn't say pyrite, does it? No, I've not heard of that. We'll have to Google that one. Pre-night, never heard of it. Right, sapphire. Who else only thought sapphires were blue? They're not, What it is, often blue, but sometimes pink or yellow, sapphire, like ruby, is a variety of the mineral corundum. With its peacemaking force field of sparkle energy, sapphire protects the vulnerable and squishy stuff inside from judgmental people and their unsolicited BS. Who needs it? Students of ancient wisdom. Where to put it? On your right middle finger, the finger of Saturn. Sapphires associate a planet. When to use it? When resentments are doing more damage to you than to those you're holding them against. Enlist sapphire to call forth that old soul that resides within, the wisest part of you who couldn't possibly care less about what anybody else thinks of you. Find your tranquil place. Well, that's everything we've spoken about for you and this person that's coming in. We mustn't worry about what other people think. We mustn't let that govern. And letting go of grudges, opening up the heart chakra, loving people unconditionally, even if it means letting them go. Wanting what's best for them, even if it means not being with you anymore. Some chakra healing. In this book by Kevin Hunter, you can look for the heart chakra and then ask particular angels associated with it to help you, because they're not allowed to interfere. You have to ask. You have to be invited to help. That's the ear chakra. Hang on. Throat. Heart chakra green. You can call on Archangel Raphael, Archangel Haniel, or Archangel Shamuel. Okay. They're the hierarchy angels to call on to assist you with your heart chakra. They work with you on matters of love, healing, emotions, and attracting in high vibration connections. Okay, take care of yourself. Go and be wild. Be confident. Be unconditionally loving, okay? Accept people for the actions that they've taken. Accept what's happened, Let them free. Cast that net out and let them free. It does seem like there's a lot of that going on. People letting go of other people. An hour, bloody hell. I've been slow because I'm tired. I feel like that was needed though. We've had a spiritual heart to heart. Whoops.